Together, let's embark on a scientific exploration of yoga, where you are the scientist, your heart is the laboratory, and you are the outcome. Welcome to Meditate with Daaji. Dear friends, last week Daaji answered some very critical questions that some of you had asked him on communication. This week, he will respond to a few more. It is not very often that we come across mentors and guides who will do their best to patiently deal with our questions on how to handle challenging situations in life that can break us or make us. In light of this, it is delightful to hear Daaji answer some rather complex questions today. The first question for Daaji has been posed by Nalini G. from Chicago in the US. Daaji, I heard your talk on speaking with love. I do try to speak with love as much as I can, and I feel that my teenagers do not even listen to what I'm saying. They are not interested in what I say because I'm not saying what they like to hear. I am a bit old-fashioned, they say, and the more I become soft and gentle and speak with love, the less they seem to listen to me. What to do?
Well, Nalini ji, children give us responsibility. Grandchildren give us love. And teenagers give us humility. They really make us humble. I am saying this in a lighter vein. However, what you are observing with your teenagers is natural. Science shows that when children are younger, parents and immediate family members act as role models. However, once they enter their teen years, children look for leadership figures and role models outside of home. It's a trait that has developed thanks to evolution. As kids grow up, it becomes difficult for parents to give direct advice. By the age of 10 or 12, they have started forming their own identity, their own ego. Children rebel against direct instructions. At the same time, they look up to leader figures and role models outside their homes. Look out for these members in your family and community whom your children look up to and share your concerns with them. Build a safety net of advisors who look out for your children and also meaningfully convey your concerns. The generation gap is a natural thing. We realize the wisdom of our parents when we became one, and the same goes for our children too. As to your point on speaking with love, we don't speak with love because we want a certain outcome. We speak with love because that is the right thing to do. Children see through the slightest of change in intonation and behavior. So my suggestion is to speak with love with one and all, not just your children. Let this habit become permanent, and as a result, one becomes more authentic. Then it will add a different flavor to your relationship with children.
The next question has been asked by Praveen from Bengaluru. Praveen asks, we are supposed to love everyone. But how can we love people who torture others or perpetuate violence on specific religions, or say women or children, for example?
Thank you, Praveen. This is a current topic, but it has always been so for time immemorial. Before we worry about loving perpetrators of crime and violence, there are a lot of low-hanging fruit that await us. Let's pick them. Why don't we first start with where we are, our home and our community? Do we truly love our parents? Do we unconditionally love our children? Do we really care for our extended family? We may have thoughts of love. We may feel the emotions of love. But does our love show itself in our action? We are what we do, not what we say we do. So let's start small. Love is a human need. We all need love, but we are miserly in giving this love. We are watchful in how much we love and whom we love. We have filters. We like to share our love with a certain person and not with others. We do not love unconditionally, and our excuse for that is our fear of being used by others. When I talk about loving unconditionally, many questions do arise like, is it possible for anyone to keep on giving this love all the time? Is it not tiring? Is it even possible? Let me clarify the idea of loving one and all so we get the right understanding, especially our youth. In day to day life, our love is a verb and it springs into action for our family and dear and near ones. We run around and take care when our loved ones are sick. We play and have fun with our children. We do whatever is necessary for our family. Obviously, we cannot love everyone we come across with the same attention and intensity. That's not what we mean when we talk about loving one and all. My love is surely going to be different, and I love my father versus my mother, my brother versus my sister, my children versus my wife. Expression of love will be different. Undercurrent of love is same though. Expression will be different. It is just like this electric current passing through heater, passing through air condition, passing through a fan, passing through an electric bulb. It's the same current with various results. When we talk about the idea of loving one and all, we are referring to our invisible heart, its connection with another heart. When I look at someone across the street, do I look at them with love? When I am scrolling the Facebook feed and I see pictures of friends, am I thinking of them with love? When I am speaking with someone, do I have love in my heart? Even when I am angry, am I able to keep it in check so it does not poison the love within? Our heart should always be open. The love should always be flowing. And what happens when the heart is always flowing with love? Think of a flower. Let's see the golden champa, my personal favorite. When it blossoms, its fragrance is so mesmerizing that often people are stopped in their tracks when the wind carries its fragrance in their direction. Everyone around the golden champa benefits from its fragrance. But tell me, who is the biggest beneficiary of fragrance? It is the flower itself. For its pollination, a lot of butterflies will gather around it and help it pollinate it. Without it, it will die. There will not be any second champa after that. Well, when the golden champa is drowned in its own fragrance, likewise, a heart with love flowing is always drowned in soft beauty of love, stands taller. A loving heart is a happy heart. A loving heart gives and gives. If love is not the solution, will hatred solve the problem? The group that perpetrates violence out of hatred or under the false understanding of doing things under the name of God, they will surely pay its price. If you also begin to hate, then what is the difference between you and them? I do not mean to preach violence, but I seek guidance from Mahabharata, especially the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjun. Lord encourages him to take up his bow and fight like a warrior must. Peace lovers are confused with the concepts of ahimsa and dharma. Single individual cannot achieve. Arjun needed the support of the Lord and many others during the war. Now, did you notice under the current scenario who all have assembled? They are misguided folks waging war. They all came together from various corners of the globe, multiple nationalities, and ensured to themselves that it is their problem. Are you able to make it as your own problem? How many will rise to this occasion? So called saintly folks hide under the mask of ahimsa, but they never can find a common platform for unity. So we are having a fundamental problem with so called saintly people, so called good hearted folks. India so suffered and continues to suffer even today. Imagine the times when the invaders butchering and beheading the heads of various provinces, raping women across without any resistance. That continued to happen for God knows how many centuries. People adopted later to different belief system under pressure, and over time, the wounds that triggered such a conversion was forgotten. Take for example Iran. Iran was an Aryan nation. That's how the name came, Iran and Aryan. It was an Aryan nation once upon a time, replete with rich culture that got intermingled with Zoroastrian faith. The invaders destroyed the Iranian empire, beheading their king. Imagine the impact. Who would dare to stand against such butchers? Single man can never handle, not even a nations like Russia or United States. They could not manage the current scenario. Certain strategies are surely required. Let us see how the regional politics plays out. Keep prayers in your heart. Dear Pravin, start from home and let the circle of your love grow and see where it takes you.
The next question has been asked by Ami from Gwalior. Pranam Daaji, you have been speaking about the importance of heartfully communicating, but some people are just emotionally blackmailing others. How should I react with my mother or sister who emotionally collapses when she is challenged, even though she is very intelligent? Everyone is left helpless, so she ends up controlling what happens.
Well, I like to quote you some slokas. I'll read the translation to you. That says, not by refraining from action does man secure freedom from action, nor by mere renunciation does he secure ultimate perfection. This is the message from Gita. In order to arrive at freedom, you will have to act. Karma is mandatory. So something must be done to put an end to others' aggression. Often good-hearted people back off and continues to tolerate under the name of harmony and under the name of non-violence. Lord Krishna tells Arjun the fundamental lesson of harmony and peace. The last resort to wage a war was due to choiceless situation where all the options were ruled out. In family life, we back off due to dependency on others. Especially in India, wife is usually so dependent on husband, so she is kind of enslaved by the system. Another factor is, what if you go against your elders? You will be labeled with many names. Do you have the mantle of a warrior? Or will you become like Arjun during the first few minutes before the war, dropping down his bow and falling at Lord's feet, questioning how can I fight with my great grandfather or my guru or my cousins? This is a scenario with our family life. We are not at war though. We have no intention of waging a war. But some moral stand will have to be taken. Who will do it for your sister or your mother? They'll have to stand up themselves, though you may be better suited to do it. Refer to this great sloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 35, that it is better to do your own duty, however defectively. Even if you have to die performing your duty, it is still better. Developing one's own emotional maturity is a sign of great self awareness. As you point out in your situation, Ami, that the discussions at home are charged with emotional outbursts. When there are outbursts, then it becomes difficult to have a calm and rational discussion. However, such situations are not restricted only at home. One will find that at workplace too or in the community, there are people who apply emotional leverage. It's there everywhere. There are a few things one can do in such situation. To start with, wear your mask first. In airlines, the safety announcement says clearly, wear your oxygen mask first before you attend to your dear ones, children. Same goes for an emotionally charged situation. Wear your mask of poise and centeredness before you jump in and indulge. Every fire needs fuel. When we stop adding our own emotional fuel, the fire of emotional outburst burns with much lesser intensity. Secondly, accept the behavior of others without judgment. When you know that some members of the family behave in a certain way, accept it. Think about this. It is because we don't accept a certain behavior that we suffer from the reaction. Be it right or wrong behavior, accepting is the first step towards driving change. Otherwise, it is like waiting for the reaction to happen and then say to ourselves, aha, I told you so. This is how they react. When we don't accept, we only expect. And when expectations are not met, we feel let down. On the other hand, when you accept that there may be an emotional reaction, you can prepare yourself. You can vaccinate yourself this way. Even better, you may be able to preempt the situation itself. Finally, pick your battles. There is no joy in winning when hearts are broken. So, what if you let some things happen your family's way? It's okay. If it's not a life and death situation, then keep your cool and delight your family with your own emotional maturity. Let them wonder what happened to Amy. She is a different person now altogether. She is so peaceful. Think about it. Good luck. Now we'll sit and meditate. You all know how to meditate, and perhaps some of you do not really know how to meditate in joining us for the first time. This is how we meditate. Heartfulness way of meditation. It's very simple. Feel relaxed. Remove all the distractions if you might have. Something like phones. And focus on the presence of divine light in our heart, think that this divine light is attracting your attention inward, and retain this thought as long as you can. If by chance you happen to move away from this noble idea, when you're overwhelmed by so many thoughts, just remind yourself that right now I am meditating on the presence of divine light. Please start meditation. That's all. So we'll meet coming Sunday at 9 in the morning.